Who is coming out on top in the AFC East? That is the big question heading into Week 18. There are other questions. There are other playoff spots up for grabs. There are other seeds up for grabs. But the real question is who's going to win between the Bills and the Dolphins? Two teams that head into the final week stumbling a little bit. The Dolphins obviously are stumbling a little bit more after getting trounced by the Ravens. And to add injury to insult, they lost Bradley Chubb in that game. Xavier Howard left that game. Raheem Mostert didn't play. Jalen Waddle didn't play. Tua Tagovailoa picked up a shoulder injury that allegedly is minor, but it's again just one more area of concern for the Dolphins as they head into this very important game. That said, the Dolphins are already in the playoffs. Even if they lose this game, they're going to be in the playoffs and they are going to at least have a chance in wild card weekend. That might not be true for the Bills. If the Steelers are able to win on Saturday against a Ravens team that has nothing to play for, the Bills will have to win against the Dolphins to even make the playoffs. Now, if they do beat the Dolphins, they'll be the number 2 seed and host a home playoff game. So it's going to be a wild swing of events either way for the Bills. As for the Bills, they're also stumbling a little bit. They struggled against the Chargers. They struggled against the Patriots, two bottom tier teams in my power rankings, and they couldn't put them away convincingly. You can make excuses for that. I mean, the Chargers had kind of the new coach bounce. The Patriots legitimately have a very good defense, a top 10 defense that can cause good teams trouble. But it's still a little bit concerning when you're heading into what amounts to or could amount to a must win game. That said, the Bills are still third in my power rankings over at sharpfootballanalysis.com because there's nobody else to put there. The Eagles are struggling. The Chiefs are struggling. The Lions have had their issues. The Cowboys have had their issues. The Browns, there's a great story, but how far are we really trusting Joe Flacco? There are questions beyond the Ravens and 49ers. There are questions throughout every other team in the NFL, which means maybe we should just bet on the Ravens and 49ers to make the Super Bowl. But obviously in the NFL, it is never that simple. So I'm really interested in what Bills show up. If the good version of the Bills show up, they will likely beat this weakened Dolphins team, but you never know with the Bills. I'll talk more about that game and every other game in my power rankings next week. Head over to sharpfootballanalysis.com to read what I think of every team heading into the final week of the season.